Hi, I'm Amy Stasiewicz, and welcome to The Minutes. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to have you along on The Minutes for the week of June 1st. This is the City of Thunder Bay podcast. The Minutes looks at what happened at Thunder Bay City Council this past week. You can find The Minutes wherever you get your podcasts, including our YouTube channel and our website, thunderbay.ca/theminutes. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. This week, City Council met on Tuesday, June 2nd. We'll go over the key highlights from this meeting, and later I'll be joined by Dana Earle, Project Director of Customer Service. So let's get started. To start off the evening, the CEDC had their annual general meeting before the City Council meeting. Like all council and standing committee meetings, the meeting began with a land acknowledgement. City Council meetings open with the national anthem, performed by a guest or local group. If you're interested in being one of the performers, you can find out more at thunderbay.ca/council. First up was the consent agenda items, which included minutes of previous council and standing committee meetings, ward meeting minutes, DSAB board minutes, District Health Unit Board of Health minutes, an application to the NOHFC and FedNor for sport event hosting capital enhancements at Canada Games Complex, renewal of Microsoft Office 365 subscription, and finally changes to the City Council meeting calendar. All consent agenda items were approved by Council. Next was a closed session, and there was one board appointment for the T-Baytel Board of Directors. The first report from administration was an update on the city's centralized customer service project. This will be a big improvement on how you access city services and information. By December 7th, 2026, the city will launch a centralized customer service model, basically a one-stop shop approach. That means instead of figuring out which department to call, you'll only need to know one easy phone number. This phone number will be 311, and you can call it 24/7. 311 will replace the city's current dispatch number. This one-stop customer service shop will be located at a newly renovated space at the Victoriaville Civic Center. There will also be an easy-to-use online system to file complaints or submit tickets. Right now, the system can be a bit confusing, with multiple contacts and inconsistent follow-up. This new model is designed to make things simpler, faster, and more consistent for residents. It'll handle general questions, service requests, and tracking, so you can actually follow to see what's happening with your request. My guest later today will explain more about this exciting new project. The next report of administration is an update on improving how human resources works behind the scenes. The city is planning to modernize its HR system using something called SAP SuccessFactors. It's a modern, cloud-based system that helps manage all things HR, like hiring, onboarding, and employee information all in one place. Right now, a lot of those processes are manual. This upgrade is all about bringing everything together into a single streamlined system. And one of the big improvements is employee self-service, meaning staff will be able to log in and do things like update their information or access HR tools without having to go through multiple steps or departments. The city is recommending working with a company called NTT Data. They've actually been supporting the city's system since 1997. So they already understand how everything is set up, what works, and what needs improvements. Because of that long-standing relationship, the city is asking council for approval to work with them directly using what's called a negotiation method, basically skipping a full competitive bidding process. So why does this matter? Well, this project is really about making HR more efficient and easier to use for both employees and managers. Some of the benefits include more accurate and reliable employee information, faster, more consistent hiring and onboarding processes, easier access to information when it's needed, better tools to support decision making, and overall a smoother experience for staff. In terms of costs, this has already been planned for. There's funding set aside in the city's capital budgets for 2026 and 2027. This project is part of the city's bigger digital strategy, which is all about using technology to improve how the organization works and delivers services. This is about updating a core system that supports city staff every day, making it more modern, more connected, and easier to use. In the end, Council approved the report. Next, Council approved a series of bylaws. The meeting was then adjourned. Okay, that's it for City Council updates. Next, I'll be chatting with Dana Earle, Project Director of Customer Service, to find out more about the new Service Thunder Bay project launching in December 2026. Today, I'm joined by Dana Earle, Project Director of Customer Service. Dana has been leading an exciting new initiative called Service Thunder Bay, a centralized customer service model set to launch on December 7th, 2026. She's here to walk us through what this means for residents, how it'll simplify access to city services, and the impact it'll have on improving overall customer service. Hey, Dana, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so this is new to a lot of people that they might be hearing about this for the first time. So you've been working hard on this project for quite some time. Where did this idea initially come from?
Thanks, Amy. In 2025, the development team launched what we're calling the One-Stop Development Shop. That was a directive by the city manager and the city manager's work plan. It's also a facet under the city's Mom Away Growing Together strategic plan, where we're making it easier for residents to access city services. So the first initiative was to develop the One-Stop Development Shop. People may know that as Build Thunder Bay, where essentially you can go and they've streamlined processes, making it easier for residents to build and plan a driveway, build and plan, houses, housing units, subdivisions, etc. So this is the natural progression from that to focus on the rest of the city's programs and services. A one-stop customer service shop where we'll have a team of customer service representatives to help people with every other program and service that the city provides.
Okay, yes, a good tie-in, and Build was such a success, so we're hoping for the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so can you just explain what Service Thunder Bay is?
Absolutely. So centralized customer service models are not new. It's not a new concept. Introduced in many municipalities, more than 50 municipalities in Ontario, BC, Alberta, New Brunswick, where essentially right now we have a decentralized model. And if someone wants to contact the city, they need to figure out who and where and when to call, right? Do I call City Hall? Do I call the Public Works dispatch number? Who exactly do I call? So what we're doing is bringing all of that together under one roof, one team, where you're going to call, starting in December, 311, and we'll have a team able to respond to any inquiry about any city program or service.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, and you're talking about other municipalities. I know you've gone around and seen some of these different service counters or programs. What are some of the great things that you've seen that you've kind of brought into this project?
Yeah, I did go on a little roadshow back in October to see some of our peers who have done this work. Barrie, Sudbury, Timmins, Newmarket, Oshawa, Oakville, the list goes on, and just some of the great work that they've done. A municipality like Guelph has been doing this for over 20 years.
Whoa.
So it's not a new concept by any stretch of the imagination. But there are, municipalities that have launched it within the last year or so, especially coming out of the pandemic, where municipalities really needed to look at what access to their services looked like, and the centralized model helped. It helps the resident, where you only have that one front door. The one front door, and you'll have access to everyone. And I will put a caveat to that, we are not going to be the subject matter experts on everything. Departments will still, retain ownership of the operations.
Yeah.
Will be the centralized intake. Will be the Q&A, the general inquiries. We're going to make sure that we are able, that the team is tasked and equipped to answer as many questions and take in as many, intake service requests as we possibly can.
Yeah, just make it easy for people. Okay, so I believe there was some public feedback on this. What were things that some residents were asking for or saying?
Back in the fall of 2025, I held a number of focus groups, public surveys, did community outreach just to hear what the public thought about the concept. Overall, they think it's a great idea. Again, if we do it properly. So definitely focusing on making sure that we do this right. But people want to talk to a person. They don't, as great as technology is, and we all know that AI is playing such a strong, piece of our world right now, they just want to talk to a person. So we're going to make sure that, when they call 311, that they're going to talk to a customer service rep. They're going to talk to somebody on our team.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that, there's that human factor throughout this entire process. So that was a huge piece to it, whereas they wanted to make sure that there was a person, making it as simple as possible, to contact. One email. Email is to be determined still. We don't have that email, but we will launch it closer to the December 7th launch date.
Yeah.
The one phone number and the one service counter. I think all of those things was crucial. Other municipalities, they've taken the model and, they'll be at multiple locations.
Right.
I think that for our municipality, the one location, we don't need to have multiple. The one location will help. Important to recognize that we will be 24/7, so 24/7 on the phones.
Yeah.
Asking that people only call in the evenings or overnight for emergencies.
Yeah.
Or urgent issues. But yeah, so the human aspect of it, not relying on the technology, making sure that our service is accessible, making sure that our service is culturally relevant, and we'll have language services. So if English isn't your first language,
right.
We will have language services available. In either, that'll be over the phone with someone to assist us.
Yep.
We just want to make sure that we're as welcoming as possible and that we're able to help everyone in our community.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned the phone number is 311. What if someone has an issue and they're in Kekabeka? They're from Thunder Bay, but they're in Kekabeka or something at camp, and they need to call in. So what do they do?
Yeah, we'll have a non-local number available. So 311 will be available to city residents within city limits.
Yeah.
We are working with our telephone service providers to make sure that all phones within city limits will be directed to 311. But the non-local number, so, if you are calling from one of our neighboring municipalities, or even Southern Ontario, you're on vacation somewhere and you need to call the city, that number will be 807-625-8229, which is T-Bay. So 625 T-Bay.
Yeah.
Nice and easy to remember.
That's good.
And that'll be the non-local.
Okay. And they can call 311 any time of day, but the after hours for emergencies.
Yes, that's what we're asking for.
Okay.
Yes, but there will be a team available 24/7.
Right. And the dispatch number, current dispatch number, that will be, people can call that up to December 6th. Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So the 625-2195, which is the Public Works Infrastructure and Operations dispatch number.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll ask people to start calling 311 as of the morning of December 7th.
Okay. And say someone has an emergency, they should not call 311.
Absolutely.
like a medical emergency.
If we're talking about police, fire, EMS, those are not services that will be managed by the customer service team.
Yeah.
We strongly encourage that if there is an emergency situation, that you call 911 for the appropriate service.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned a physical location at Victoriaville Civic Center. Can you explain a bit of, like, so people can picture what it'll be like?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So lots of work being done on Victoriaville Civic Center, in its totality right now. Our office will open once Victoriaville or Victoria Avenue has reopened. Our office will be located in the Civic Center below where the existing Build Thunder Bay office is.
Okay.
So on the first floor of Victoriaville, easy access from Victoria Avenue, Donald Street, the Centennial Square parking lot, or the parkade. So we'll have lots of signage, lots of wayfinding for people to know where to go and how to find us.
Right. And it'll be counters.
Yes, we'll have a set of 4 public service counters.
Okay.
And those counters will be open from 8:30 till 4:30.
Okay. Amazing. Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
Right on. Okay. So how will this new service change the way people interact with the city compared to how things are going right now?
Yeah. Well, we're hoping that it's going to be a positive change for them,
Yeah.
Having that one point of access. We're really excited about what we are bringing on new technologies, and we are excited about what some of those technologies will do for us and for the resident. So as an example, if you need to report a street light out on your street right now, you would call the 625-2195. You would provide them with as much information as you can about where the street light is out, which street light specifically it is, give address, etc. That ticket would be created and given to the operational team to address that matter.
Yeah.
From the resident's perspective, you really wouldn't hear much feedback from the city to know if that streetlight was fixed,
right,
until you go outside and see the new streetlight in place.
Right.
With this new technology that we're bringing on, we'll have two-way communication. So once that ticket is created, there are a number of ways that we can communicate with the resident. Right now, our focus will be on email, but recognize that if someone wants SMS, a text message, we may have that functionality available. Okay. We're exploring it right now.
Yep.
But essentially what will happen is as soon as that ticket is created, a resident will get an email to advise them that the ticket was created. Anytime there's changes made to that service request, they'll get another email. And then they'll get an email to say that it's been closed, hopefully with the issue fully addressed.
Yeah.
So they won't have to call back to the city. There won't be any calls back to say what's the timeline, what's happening. The other great thing about this technology is there'll be a self-service portal.
Right.
So residents can actually create their own profile.
Yeah.
And they can either call 311
and
have a customer service rep create that ticket for them.
Okay.
Or they can go on and they can do it themselves throughout through the portal. And then track any changes through the portal.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have to call; they can log on, and it's a fairly self-service system that they'll have access to.
Right. Okay. And we're also used to making profiles on things, so this will not be an issue for most people.
So there will be the ability for people to pay for services at Service Thunder Bay. We are trying to centralize as many services as possible.
Right.
And what makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you do need to come down to Service Thunder Bay and pay for something, we'll sell transit passes. We'll sell, garbage bag tags. There will be some services that will remain, status quo. For example, if you register for a Rec and Culture program through our existing online portal, you'll still be able to pay in that way.
Right.
For your tax and your water bills, payments will continue through those
Yeah.
existing mechanisms. However, we do want to make sure that if someone needs to make a payment to the city, that our office would be available for that payment to be made.
Right. Yeah, because if you go to Service Thunder Bay, like someone's going to be there to help you even,
Yes.
point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do the next few months look like for you?
So we've moved from the planning stage to the implementation stage. So for the past, 6 to 9 months, I've been doing research. I've been boots on the ground. What have others been doing? Talking with our peers, figuring out what the best model is for Thunder Bay. Starting to work with our internal teams to get an understanding of what are their services that they provide. We spent a lot of time in the fall doing what we called a municipal service inventory. So we had an understanding of what all those front-facing services are and what can be brought over to Service Thunder Bay, what makes sense. Some things make sense and some don't. So we'll have more information about service delivery closer to launch date. However, we are going to be boots on the ground now, getting that technology up and running, recruiting the team. We have some team members in place now. We will be looking to recruit the remaining members of the team over the next 3 to 4 months. Obviously, lots of training for that team, making sure that they're prepared to be, the subject matter experts really about any inquiry that may come into the city. Right. So you can imagine the work that's going on behind the scenes between other departments and the new customer service team, just making sure that we've got, hey, if someone calls and says, how do I get on the childcare wait list? What's that process? What does that look like? We'll be able to help them. If someone calls and says, hey, I need help planning a trip on transit, how do we do that? So lots of work is going on internally with other departments doing all that planning. And then again, making sure that the team is fully trained. Obviously, office space development, that space right now in Victoriaville is home to 2 other teams. So we're relocating them and we're building a whole new office space for this new team. Our evening dispatch will remain where they are at the Mountvale office, but our daytime team will be in place at the Victoriaville Civic Center. Okay,
I'm so excited to see it. Speaking of excited, what are you most excited about with this project?
Oh my gosh, that's a tough question. I am just so thrilled to be leading such a transformation for the city. Born and raised here, I love the city, and I'm a resident too. And working for the city for the past 12 or so years, I know we have our challenges, and I am working really hard to make sure that this new team and this new initiative gives the residents what they need.
Yeah. Okay, so I know we chatted about a lot of things, but is there any other information that we didn't cover today that you want to chat about?
I think at this point, I just want to make sure that, word is getting out, that word is spreading, and people know that something's coming in December. So I'm going to be attending a lot of events over the summer. I'll be at the Canada Day on the Waterfront event, most of the Live on the Waterfront events throughout July and August. I'll be there with a booth, able and ready to answer any questions that people may have, help dispel some misinformation, what they may have heard or haven't heard. So we're just in the phase right now of making sure that the public knows what's coming. Once we get into October, November, then we'll obviously have really heavy communications to say, hey, folks, this is what you can expect, and this is what this team's going to do for you. So just making sure that the word is being spread and people know what they can expect come December.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we want the 311 number just to be like second nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's one of the greatest things that has been made available to municipalities is having that 311 available.
Yeah.
So we are working through, implementation with our telephone service providers. There's lots of technical work that needs to be done behind the scenes that I am not a subject matter expert. But I know that, they're going to put everything in place so that when someone calls 311, that they'll reach the city. And you're right, 311 will be the phone number.
Yeah.
You'll never have to go onto our website or learn our organizational structure or figure out who does what, who should I call. You're just going to call 311.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Okay, so thanks so much, Dana, for explaining this new one-stop customer service shop, and thanks for taking time to chat with me today.
Thanks for having me, Amy.
That's it for this week's episode of The Minutes. A big thank you to Dana Earle for joining us, and as always, thanks for listening. If you want more information about City Council, agendas, or minutes, visit thunderbay.ca/council. You can catch up on the minutes every week wherever you get your podcasts, on our YouTube channel or on our website at thunderbay.ca/theminutes. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I'm Amy. Thanks again for listening to The Minutes, and have a great week.